some music.
Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto Channel Altcoin Special. How is everyone? I'll take a look at altcoins. I'm getting a ton of DMs about altcoins and this and that. I really wish you guys, I don't mind you DMing me, it's great. But if you have like altcoin questions or things you're seeing, if you don't mind, just post them publicly. The rest of us like this info too, you know? And that way, whenever I go later post it publicly, I can't take credit for it, you know, because I'm definitely going to steal your thunder if you send it to me directly. I'm going to repost it and claim it as my idea. So, just kidding-ish. Some of these alts are pumping right now. Gosh, dog, Fetch and WorldCoin are both up 12% on the day. Moving independently of Bitcoin. I posted this yesterday in Discord and showed, see if I can find it real quick. You can see here, Bitcoin on the left, Fetch on the right. 2 candles in a row. These are weekly time frames. Two weekly candles in a row. Bitcoin dump while Fetch pumped. Then Bitcoin trended up while Fetch trended down. Now Bitcoin's dumping the last 2 weeks and Fetch is pumping. So moving independently. This doesn't happen very often. So take advantage when it does. I don't know if you take advantage or not. How do you really even trade this? I'm going to show you. It's a good question, Anthony. I'm glad I asked. Let's see who's here. Johnny number 5. What's up, bro? Jack, ready to get some alts in. Jack said Nasana. By the way, let's go through this and I'll tell you. Max, good morning, Max. Max says, you already know I'm riding Fetch with you. Yeah, bro, Fetch. Thanos, my main man. Johnny number 5 says, change my vote to Kraken. Accidentally hit Binance. Okay, yeah, I have a poll in chat. Just curious. Nothing I'm going to do with it. I'm just curious as to what you spot trades all altcoins on. Kraken, Coinbase, Binance, or one of those leverage trade type exchanges like MEXC, Bybit, all that. Just curious. I don't know why. I just am. Johnny says, world. Thanos says, I'm by no means married to this coin, but let's have a look at H-bar. We will do it. Hawkborn, good morning. Salt Chain, our shield moderator. What's up, crew? Johnny number 5 says, everybody post an alt you were interested in so he can look at it. Don't be shy. We may discover a hidden gem. Yeah. Guys, post an altcoin. Like, which one are you looking at? Don't be shy. Just put it out there. You don't be so worried that we're going to steal your altcoin. In fact, you should want us to steal your altcoin, right? For your coin to pump, you have to have buyers. So you should put the word out as much as you can so that people are interested in buying it. I've never understood that. Like, I've literally had people tell me, well, I don't want to tell you what alt I'm in because, you know, it's my altcoin. It's, you know, it's a secret. This is a secret. It's a hidden gem. You know, nobody knows about it. It's like, that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, if it's a secret and nobody knows about it, then nobody is there to buy it. Nobody's there to pump it, right? I'm telling you, I've heard that multiple times from people. Oh, it's a secret. Nobody knows about this, and nobody's talking about it. It's gonna pump, and it's gonna come out of nowhere, and I found this hidden gem. It's like, you're an idiot. Just my opinion. And I mean that in the nicest, loving, Jesus loves you kind of way. Anyway, so give us your alt. We'll take a look at it. We'll dive right in. We're not going to look at Bitcoin. We'll glance over there. Bitcoin's just doing some Saturday stuff, right? Like 15-minute time. Kind of moving up a little bit, but not really doing anything. We're just, it's just nothing. I mean, you're just stuck in this range, right? Just ranging, right? So you're kind of at the upper end of the range-ish now, just nothing. So nothing to see here. I'm not interested in trading this whatsoever. Just kind of upper middle of the range trading. It's just whatever. Have at it. Low volatility today. I mean, you're kind of moving a little bit now, but other than that, like, unless business picks up, I am not interested in trading this today. I mean, this is today right here. Like, you couldn't get much more sideways. And I know you're getting a little bit of a move now, but I don't know. I mean, most likely this thing's going to do this just like this, probably. Come right in and then come right back into your box and just keep going sideways. So, I mean, maybe a short opportunity right here. But I wouldn't be interested. I wouldn't be interested unless you took this high, and even then you have to make sure you're not breaking out. I don't know. I'm just not interested in this. That's not why we're here, though. Let's look at some altcoins. Man, these alts are pumping. I'm going to start with Fetch because it's my coin. All right, two things, guys. First of all, please put your altcoin in chat. Three things. Please put your altcoin in chat. If you're interested in an alt, please put it in chat. I'm just asking you because I want to take a look at these. If you don't put your alt in chat and you wind up getting wrecked on this strategy, I don't want to hear about it. It is your fault, which you could get wrecked anyway, but it's your fault for not letting us take a look at it. We might could warn you away from something. Gosh, dog, Fetch just pumped 3% in like 10 seconds. Gosh, dog, I almost bought this morning, but the signal wasn't there. Actually, we're under the signal. All right, number two is do whatever you want to do. But some of you, I'm about to give a good strategy that I used, and I'm up about $150,000 spot trading alts, okay? Some of you aren't going to believe me. I'm fixing to show you one of my accounts anyway that I'm logged into. But how I've done this is I just picked two coins, okay? I picked WorldCoin and Fetch, okay? And I say this all the time, but I became intimately familiar with these coins, so I know how they move for the most part. I mean, do they shock me every once in a while? Sure, of course. But I know, I mean, let me zoom out on Fetch here. Like, I have marked out, like, all of its support and resistance zone, demand zones, buy areas, sell areas. Like I know this coin. I know how it moves. I know its swing high levels. I know its market cap. I know its circulating supply. I know its token unlock schedule. I know this coin. Same thing with WorldCoin, right? Same thing with WorldCoin. I know this coin, right? So what some of you are going to do, I know because I used to kind of be this way. You're going to have a coin or two or three that you look at and you kind of know, and you're going to be looking for the signals that I'm about to give. And it's not going to be there, so you're going to scroll through the old Rolodex and find you a coin that this fits on. And that might work sometimes, but that is foolish, okay? Because number one, you don't know how this coin moves. You don't know if there's, about to be some sort of, I know you can't really predict scandals, but you know what I'm saying? You just don't really know. You don't really know what's going on with the coin. You don't know if there are kind of some rumors swirling around about the coin. You don't know. You need to know the market cap. Market cap's huge. That's going to be our point number 3 that I'm fixing to come to. You just don't know it. So just whenever in history has being greedy worked out for people, don't be greedy. You're going to have, with what I'm about to show you, you're going to have plenty of opportunities to make money if you don't get out too early of these trades. You're going to have plenty of opportunities. Just trust me when I tell you, pick your 2 coins and just stick with those 2 coins. You don't always have to be in a trade all the time. That is a quick trip to Wreck City right there. But you do you. You do you, okay? Okay? Let me know how it works out. So speaking of which, what I'm about to show you, and I'm going to get to it, I gotta lay the groundwork here. In my opinion, first of all, no signal, no anything, no nothing is ever 100%. So you can take some losses with what I'm about to show you, but they're pretty mitigated losses for the most part. Go back test it, and that's what I'm going to do with you. I'm going to back test some of your coins if you give them to me. But so nothing's 100%. You're going to take some losses, but does it really matter? Let's say you make 20%. You just say let's say you take 5 trades and you make, I don't know, an average of 5% per trade. Okay, just average. That gives you 25%. And then on trade number 6, let's say you lose 3%. Okay, you're still up 22%. So don't cry me a river. Okay, you're going to take some losses. Okay, it just is what it is. Just get in when you're supposed to get in and get out when the parameters tell you to get out. Right. So first thing I want you to do, you get your coins. Just pick you 2 or 3 coins. Just 2 or 3. Okay. First thing I think is the most important, well, not the most important, but I think it's super important is to go, you can go to CoinMarketCap. I think TradingView even shows your let's see. I'm on Fetch. Does TradingView show your market cap here? I don't see it. It may be here somewhere. I'm probably looking right at your, whatever. I like to use CoinMarketCap. So you go to CoinMarketCap and you type in your coin that you're looking for here, right? This is free. CoinMarketCap's free. Type in the coin you're looking for, and it pulls up all the info, circulating supply. We've covered this, market cap, all that. Look at your market cap. That's what I want to know. Listen, let me rewind. This is not for long-term bull run holds. This is for trading, spot accumulating coins, or just making money and withdrawing your profits. Okay, this is not for accumulating coins, because we look at Nosana. I've got Nosana pulled up here, and I think this is a potential like home run, long-term, next cycle play, right? But I would not use this strategy on Nosana, okay? The strategy I'm about to show you, I would not use it, okay? And here's why. The market cap for Nosana is $29 million. That is teeny tiny, okay? Teeny tiny, $29 million. Remember that number. Let's look at like Ethereum. Ethereum market cap, $29 million. Ethereum market cap is $243 billion. So what is that, 100 times bigger? $243 billion. Let's look at like, what did somebody say earlier? Let's look at Fetch. Fetch market cap is $617 million. So 30 times bigger than this is still not huge. This is still fairly small, but it's way bigger than 29 million, okay? Let's look at HBAR. Somebody said HBAR. 4.3 billion market cap. So much bigger than 29 million. Okay, and the reason you don't want to use something, in my opinion, 29 million, I'm going to show you. We're going to look at Nosana. The indicators I'm about to show you that we're going to use for parameters, pretty much all indicators are lagging indicators, right? Lagging, which means price has already happened, and then the indicator is catching up, right? Right? Okay. The problem with something with a $29 million market cap is you could go buy $100 worth and it pumps like 3%, right? Or you could go sell $100 worth and it dumps 3%. I'm exaggerating, but seriously, so by the time the lagging indicator catches up, you could have already had a massive dump on it, and you could be in drawdown. So and the flip side, you can make a lot. That's why it's called a home run play. It's high risk, high risk, high reward. So it works both ways, but you're getting greedy when you're trying to trade a coin like that. Okay, you're getting greedy, and you're going to get burned. Okay. Not that the signal I'm about to give you, not that it doesn't work or isn't effective. Let's just acknowledge that it's a lagging indicator. And with a coin with a $29 million market cap, on the good side, by the time the indicator gives you the go, you could be up 30%. But on the flip side, by the time it says you need to get out because it's lagging, and somebody just went and sold $1 million worth of Nosana, this thing just dumped 50%, and you're screwed by the time your indicator says get out. So a good rule of thumb for me is $500 million. So $500 million market cap or higher. Okay, and this is a good indicator, okay, or a good signal, okay? So first thing you want to do when you're looking at your coins, first of all, you should already know your coins. But if you're just out there fishing and want to find some coins, coin market cap, look at your market cap of a coin, $500 million, 500 million or more, I would say is fairly safe-ish to use this signal, okay? Write that down, guys. If you didn't write that down and you try to do this on Nosana or something like that and you get wrecked, I really don't want to hear it, because it is so important, okay? And I'm going to show you why. I was looking at this earlier and I was like, oh, shit, look, Nosana just pumped 27% or whatever it was on this signal, and by the time you got the exit signal, you'd already given back that 27 plus another 30. Something like that. I can't remember the numbers, but it was a lot. But I can't find an example on these bigger coins where that has happened. I found some losers, but only like a percent or two. So Thanos is taking notes. That's what I'm talking about, bro. The rest of you guys need to be taking notes too. The rest of you guys need to be taking notes. All right, so let's see. We're going to look at I'm going to start with Fetch. So here's how you do that. Fetch, I already know Fetch, but I just pulled it up. But let's pull it up on CoinMarketCap. Does box number one check? Are we a $500 million or better market cap? We're 624 million. That's greater than That's greater than 500 million. So yes, this is a coin I'm willing to do this on. Okay. Goodness gracious, thing's pumping today. All right. let me clear off my fetch chart. Get your pen and paper out, guys. I'm telling you. Well, first of all, let me show you this just one account. I'm on my WorldCoin account right now. WorldCoin account on Kraken. Okay. The balance here. My first trade. By the time I unrolled this to Discord, it was at about a $55,000 account. Okay, but I actually started this less than that. You can see right here. This is the beginning of my WorldCoin. February the 2nd was a $42,000 account, $42,483. You see it right there. This is a live account. You can see it's ticking. Let me go to the homepage. So $42,000 account. Pay attention, guys. $42,000, and you can see. Watch this number tick right here. So that's how you know it's a live account, because I do have a few dollars in Luna Classic on this account. What do I have? $77. Look, see it ticking right there? It was just 09, 06, 07. So this is a live account, $103,000 account. Okay? You do the math. 42,000 to 103,000. Like, really, I need you to do the math because I can't do it. $61,000 up on this account. Okay? I'm $61,000. And I have another account that I am $48,000 up on the account, I think. This is the one that I was rolling with you guys the other day. So 48 and 61, that's 107, 108, 109,000, about $109,000, I think. Since February the 1st, okay? And I've withdrawn 4,000 on it too, so, which I showed the other day also. Anyway, so we're up some serious change. This is just spot trading. There's not a nickel of this has been part of leverage trading. We have that also, and you see those profits. I'll show you those, but this is just spot trading. Buying and selling with no leverage, okay? And I know what you're thinking, well, Anthony, I don't have $100,000. Oh, well, okay, great. I've more than 100% gained on my accounts. So if you have 10 grand, you could be at 20 grand, 25 grand, or even better. I missed a 90% pump on fetch. I missed it. Actually, I had it. It rolled up about 10%. I sold, and then it took off another 80-something percent. So I missed it. So really, I should be up about 200 grand if I'd caught that, and it was my own foolishness. I'll tell you what I did. I let my bias get in the way. I was biased that Bitcoin was about to roll over and hit sub 60K. I was biased. And rather than looking at the technicals and what was actually happening, I was following some stupid ass fractal. And it didn't cost me. I didn't lose any money, but it prevented me from making what I should have made. So, and I'm a professional trader, but I make mistakes like that, mental mistakes. Fortunately, I was spot trading, so I didn't lose anything, but I missed out on making about another $70,000, $80,000. And that's okay. You're not going to catch everyone. That's okay. But just try to control your bias. You can see in the last month here, we're up $21,000 on this account in the last month. Okay, last month, $21,000 right here. You see it. Boom, right there. So the strategy really works, and I'm about to show it to you. All right, let's start with fetch. And I have removed all of my drawings, all that stuff, and I'm keeping one indicator. The indicator that I'm using for this is Fu Manchu. It looks like the cipher indicator. You can use Market Cipher B. I'm using Fu Manchu B. Are y'all familiar with that indicator? Anybody? Anybody? Jack says, pen and paper check. Jack's taking notes. Thanos, XLM, and Zcash. Salt Chain taking notes. Johnny number 5 loves the VU. Max is 100% VU. Salt Chain, no clue. Okay, here, I'll show it to you. Here it is. You'll just go in here. VU. That's probably all you have to type, but Fu Manchu, just like that. But you probably just type VU and it shows up. And it's just like Market Cipher. You have Cipher A and Cipher B. We want Cipher B. I really don't use Cipher A. you can use it if you want, but you don't need it for this, what I'm about to show you. So Fu Manchu Cipher B, okay? And mine's a little configured a little. If any of you care, I'll show you my configurations real quick. You need to screenshot this. Oh, gosh. I'm not going to be able to show you all this. If anybody's interested, say something in Discord, and I'll screenshot my... Oh, hell, I'll show you now. You screenshot it. I'm going to pause for like 5 seconds for us scroll. 3, 2. Actually, I'm just going to scroll. You can rewind here and write all this stuff down. You can go back and pause this. You can see all the ones that I have toggled on, or you can, all these come toggled on. I just toggle them off, what I want to use and what I don't. And I've changed some colors and stuff. Got a lot of settings. And you can do it however you want to do it. Ooh, dark mode. I kind of like that. And we'll go to the other section here. And here you change things like the line part, or this is the area part, which I've changed to an area part. You can see the area parts I've changed. And you don't have to use my settings. Turned off overbought 3. You know, just things like this I've turned on and off. All right. So you can rewind and go get that. Anyway, this is what I use, and you know, it's just in case you're not familiar with this, the big blue lines, those are momentum waves, right? And we're not fixing to discuss divergences and all that here. I'm just kind of identifying parts. So the yellow line is the VWAP oscillator. Right here in the middle, where you can see it kind of crosses, or the blue wave crosses, everything crosses. That's called the 0 line. And right here on the right, it has your percentages over here. And if you go and hover on it, it's 0. It's at 0. So when you hear people talking about such and such crossing the 0 line, that's what they're talking about. Anything above is positive. Anything below is negative. So what we're going to be interested in here is this red. You can see this red and green shaded area, right? This red and green shaded area. Okay. This is, in my opinion, you see the red shaded area and the green. Ooh, I don't like this green arrow. That should be yellow. No, it should be orange. I like orange. This red and green is money flow, okay? Now, in my opinion, money flow is king. Money flow trumps everything else, every other indicator, every other anything, not just on this indicator, on everything. Money flow is king, okay? Money flow coming down or money flow coming in the red indicates money leaving an asset, whatever you're looking at, with Bitcoin, Fetch, Amazon, whatever. Money coming up, it doesn't have to be in the green. It could be coming up. See how this thing curves down and then curves back up? See how it comes down? This is money flow leaving. And even though it's not in the green right now, it's coming back. That means money is coming into the market, even though it's not green yet. And then it crosses in the green. That means you got some serious money coming in now, okay? It's bullish, all right? And it varies based on your time frame, same as everything else. 1 minute time frame is, you know, I'm on the daily. Let's look at the 1 minute. I mean, you see 1 minute is choppy, 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 choppy. So stay away from this unless you're scalp trading. All right. So what we're going to do, I'm going to trade this on you're going to take notes, the 4 hour and the 30-minute time frame, okay? And once again, this is not 100%, but you're going to win a lot. You're going to make a lot, and I'm going to show you how to keep your losses small. So what I'm going to look at, let's rewind to the so we're currently into green 4 hour money flow. I don't want to look at that because there's no red. I want to show where it goes back to the red, okay? So let's go back to the last time we went from red to green, okay? And sometimes you get this choppy stuff. Let's zoom in here. You see where it's kind of flippy floppy, you know, green, red, green, red, green, red. That's fine. That's fine. Roll with it. Roll with it. I'm going to show you how. But let's go right here to where it kind of went into the green. This last time went into the green, which is right here. I'm going to mark that out. Vertical line. All right. So if you zoom in, that line right there, it looks like it's green, but it's not. You didn't get into the green to the next one. So boom, right there. Now you're in the green, okay? On the 4 hour time frame. So that's going to be your entry, okay? Your entry. This is spot trading, okay? All right, so I'm going to mark out that candle that we entered on right there. That would be your entry right there at 22.10, right? And if you wrote this up and got out at the top, which you wouldn't necessarily know is the top, I mean, that's over a 12% pump. So with me, $100,000 account, I'm going to make 12 grand on this right there. If I got my entry right, which is easy to do, it's easy to get the entry right. Money flow cost in green, you enter. But what's hard to do is know when to sell. Okay, so I'm not saying to sell there because this thing could have kept going, right? But it didn't. So if you waited until it crossed back to the red, let's mark that out. To get out, if you waited to that, then you get out there, which is actually a loss because it crossed back to the red at the bottom of this candle right there, right? I'll turn that red. So that's a loss. We don't want to take a loss. How are you going to take a loss when you just bought a 12% pump? How are you going to take a 3% loss? You can't do that. That doesn't work, right? So how do we do it? All right, here's how we do it. Let me erase that and erase the red because we're not going to get out at the 4-hour cross back to the red because it's a lagging indicator. By the time it closed back red, you're in the negative. You just missed out on a 12% pump. So we're going to drop to the, take notes, 30-minute time frame. Sugar-free monsters, one of those days. It's still freaking rainy here, y'all. It's been rainy for a month. Oh my gosh. It's depressing. 30-minute time frame. Let's go find our price action. All right, so remember we entered that on the 4-hour time frame, money flow cross into the green. What I want to do, and notice right here that money flow is in the red upon our entry. That doesn't matter. We're entering on the 4-hour. So what we're going to do is exit, and this is going to seem dumb to you, and not all are going to play out like this, okay? It's going to seem like counterintuitive to you, but I'm telling you, it's going to protect you. We're going to exit, so we're going to watch this as long as let's assume while we're on the 30-minute that the 4-hour stays in the green, okay? None of this applies if the 4-hour is in the red, okay? None of it applies. You're out by then. What we're going to do, even though this is in the red, we entered on the 4-hour. We're going to watch this until it enters in the green, and then when it enters back in the red, we're going to get out. Period. You're going to get out. I don't care. You're going to get out. I don't care that it continued to pump. I'm about to show you what to do. You're going to get out. So it came into the red right there. So you entered here. You got out on this candle, right? Boom. Got out on that candle. It's a 2% pump. I still made $2,000. Still made $2,000. Now, you may have only made 2%. That's great. I don't care. So what are you going to do next? All right, that's your get out. I'm not going to color all these. You get the point. That is your get out. Boom. That is your get out. Would it help you if I colored these? Green. There's your get out. Okay, so I'm going to flip back to 4-hour now, and I'm going to watch 4-hour. So I got out. I'm out. Okay, 4-hour is, let's go find it. 4 hours here. 4 hours still in the green. Okay, 4 hours still in the green. So as long as the 4 hours still in the green, I'm going to stay on the 30-minute chart. As long as the 4 hours is still in the green. Okay, I'm going to stay on the 30-minute charts. I know it's a little complicated for some of you, but I'm telling you it works, and it's going to prevent you from getting wrecked. So I got out. It came down. Boom. Well, 30-minute came back into the green here. Okay, so I'm going to mark that out. It came back into the green right there. So I'm going to re-enter. Okay, boom, right there. I'm re-entering. And it's not much worse than my initial entry, and I didn't have to ride this drawdown. And just in case this thing continued down, I'm out with my 2% profit, right? So I protected myself. But as long as 4 hours still in the green, then I'm good to re-enter upon this 30-minute cross back, okay? So now I'm going to ride this. I'm just going to watch it. And as long as 4 hour is still in the green, which 4 hour has to still be in the green as long as 30 minutes in the green, I'm going to roll with this, and I'm going to see where we had a 30-minute cross back in the red, which was right there. So I'm out at the bottom of this candle. So those 2.5%. So now I'm up 4.5%. Okay, comes down. Oh gosh, look, it crossed back into the green. God, 30-minute just crossed back into the green right there. All right, let's flip back to our 4-hour and let's see. Remember, we got to refer back to the 4-hour because that green doesn't matter if 4-hour has flipped to the red. Nope, 4-hour still in the green, so I am okay to enter again. I know it's a lot of entry and exit, but I'm telling you this works. There are times where this thing's going to enter the red on the 30, like over here, like we're going to get to over here, where it stays in the red and comes significantly down, and so you'll be glad you got out on all of these little flippy floppies. It doesn't always flippy floppy like this. See, like right here, it wasn't flippy floppy. Right here, it wasn't flippy floppy, but you need to be careful on times that it is, and you need to pay attention to the signals. So then you stayed in the red for a significant period of time, or green, excuse me. You didn't come back into the red till right there, right? So we entered again right here, right? You had this big run up. You could have taken profit up here. I mean, you probably would have wanted to take some profit. I mean, that's a big run up. I mean, that's 8%. But if you waited until it was time to get out, then you made yourself 3% profit. So you made another 3%. Now you're up 7.5%. And I know what you're thinking. Why didn't I just stay in it from here to there? Because I'm telling you, there's going to come a time where this thing's going to enter a big red downtrend, and you're going to wind up taking drawdown if you do it that way, okay? Again, it's not all, and usually it's not flippy floppy like this, okay? So you enter the red, come back, same thing. You enter the green here, enter the red. You get the point, right? You get the point. You see what I'm saying? That's how you do it, and that's what keeps you in these trades. So let's look at current price action. 4 hours in the red. Yeah, everything's good. I'm on the 30-minute here, but everything's good. Let's go back and look at a little bit different example here. I'm telling you, this is how I do it. This is how I've made all my money. And I look at things like Alexander and stuff like that. I pay attention to that stuff too. So let's look at this one here. 4-hour time frame. We'll go back and look at another one, maybe a little bit different. 4-hour time frame. Get the cross there. There's your go signal. Drop down to the 30. This is one we just looked at. My bad. My bad. I'm like, it's already marked out. 4-hour cross there. Let's take a look at this one. I haven't even looked at this one yet. So you can enter there. Actually, you get to cross there. We're going to enter there. All right, let's take a look at this, guys. 30 minutes. We're going to look at your altcoin. Last one on Fetch. All right, so enter there. You get the green. You get the cross back into the red right here. From there to there, it's 3.5% pump. I made $3,500 right there. Super simple. You stay in the red for half a second. You come back, I don't know, about 2-3 hours later, you get back in the green. You're still in the green on 4-hour. We already looked at that. You're still in the green on 4-hour. You re-enter right there, and you ride it up. You got yourself another, if you want to get out there, another 7.5% pump, or you wait till you come back in the red here. And you get out there, and you got yourself another 3% pump. Now, you'd be saying, why would I take the 7 when I have to get out at 3%? Because you don't know. Some of these are going to ride up for 30, 40%. But switching to the 30, I know you have to get in and out a lot more, but it protects you. Not one of these has been a loss, right? Not one of these that we've looked at has been a loss. This is the entire month of May. Not one of them has been a loss by doing it this way. And that's the ultimate goal, protection of capital, right? Yeah, maybe you didn't make all 7%, but how do you know to get out there? How do you know? You don't. This is a get out signal, and you're still going to make some profit. Okay, and it gives you a good re-entry. So you may make this entire, whatever this is, what does this move here? 15%. You may get that. You just may have to enter 3 different times to get it. And that's okay, okay? Because you want high probability setups. You don't want to be writing things down. Yeah, you could couple this with Alexander, Thanos. The problem with that is you just don't get Alexander firing off very often. So you just don't get it. It just doesn't happen very often. That's the only problem with that. You don't get that very much. I mean, sometimes you do flippy floppy here. But yeah, sure. Yeah. I keep Alexander on, but by the time you get Alexander here, I'm already in this. Look at the 4 hour. See, I'm already in this 8 hours before you get Alexander, which sometimes it works out more than that. But I'm already in this, and I'm already up, 2-3%. Doesn't seem like much there, but let's go look at another one if we can find one. So you get Alexander here. I would not take this Alexander signal. Money flow trumps everything, including Alexander, okay? This Alexander, yeah, you got a little bit of a move. 3%, but I'm not interested in this. Ultimately, you rolled right over. Why am I not interested in this Alexander signal? Money flows in the red. I'm on the 4 hour. Money flows in the red. I like 4 hour money flow. I like daily money flow. Let me go find another Alexander. All right, here's a good one. Alexander signal. Boom. Good pump up. Why did this work out so well, Thanos? Why did this work out so well compared to this one over here we just looked at that did not? Really, 2 in a row right here did not work out. Why did this work out so well? Alexander should be used in confluence with money flow, both to the buy and sell side, right? Okay, you got the Alexander signal. It worked out big. By the time you got the signal here, boom, pump up, 57%. Money flow in the green in the 4 hour. Beautiful. Okay. You got Alexander here. Yeah, you got a little bit, all right? You got a little bit. 15%, but ultimately you rolled back over. Why? Money flow in the red. Compared to here, you got Alexander pumped up 38%. Why? What's the difference? Money flow in the green. You should be using confluence. And almost every time you're going to get Alexander, one that's going to work out for you, almost every time you're already going to be in on this 4 hour strategy, right? See the 4 hour cross here? And you don't get Alexander till there. And that's going to be your good clue, or one of your good clues, besides the 30-minute money flow, to stay in this trade, that this is going to be a good Alexander signal because we are in the green and we're already in the trade from back here. And when you got in from here to the time Alexander fired off, you're already up 11, 12%. Use it in confluence. I take no long trades, none, if the money flow is not in the green on the 4 hour. That's just me. We're talking altcoins. Nothing I say today applies to Bitcoin. This strategy might work on Bitcoin. I don't know. I've never used it. I've never tried it. But this one's working out so well, Thanos, compared to some of the Alexanders, because your money flows in the green. Some of you are going to try to do money flow in the 10-minute in the green. Some of you are going to try. I don't really hope you get wrecked, but secretly, you get what you deserve when you try to be greedy. I'm telling you, I've been doing this for 12 years. I've made more money than you can believe. And I'm not the richest guy. I'm not bragging, but spot trading altcoins is where I make my money. And I've tried it all. I've tried it. I've been wrecked. I've done it. I've found success. And this works. 4 hour money flow, get in. 30-minute cross to the red, get out. If 30-minute money flow crosses back to the green while the 4 hour is still green, get back in. Okay, that 30, I know it's a pain in the ass. I know. Sometimes, like in this area right here we just looked at, you have to get in 4 or 5 times to catch this whole move, but it is going to prevent you from falling into this because you're waiting on this 4 hour to cross back to the red to get out, right? You enter here, you exit there, you lose. But you can't, I guess you can lose, but you didn't lose in this case because we got out on the 30-minute money flow. I'm telling you, just try it. All right, I know what you're thinking. Oh, that's fetch. That's fetch. Let's go look at another coin. See what everybody's saying. Yes, you can set an alert. I'll show you how to do that, guys. That is a great question. Okay. So when you get your cipher up here, let me clean this up a little bit. I'm gonna show you. I have an alert set. All right. So you go to cipher, your Fu Manchu, your market cipher, whatever you got. Click on the dots. Add an alert. Okay. Add an alert. You can screenshot this if you want. So it's going to pull up just like this, but this is not the alert that I want. What I want is, hang on. Yeah. So it's automatically going to pull up with the alert set to by big green circle. I don't want that. Okay. So what I want is to click on this and scroll down to crossing. I'm going to click on crossing. Boom. Now it's going to change a little bit. I'm going to keep the value at 0 because that's talking about I want this alert to fire off when the value of whatever I want crosses 0. 0 means right here, the 0 line. I don't want the plot. What I want is this. It's the only one on this entire damn thing. No, it's not. There's 2 right here, but I want the one that says RSI MFI. That's your money flow. RSI MFI. That is your money flow. Screenshot that. I want the RSI MFI. Boom. And what time frame do you want it on? Like I could be on the daily and I could change this to the 4 hour or whatever, but I happen to be on the 4 hour and that's what I want it on. And then you can set an open alert or however many times you want it to give an alert, or you can adjust your parameters here. If you want it to extend forever or for a month or whatever, you can do that here. But this is what you want. First thing you have to do is change this to crossing, leave the value at 0, RSI MFI, and you want it on the 4 hour time frame. Okay. Now, I don't set the alert on the 30 until I enter the trade. Okay. Because right now I'm not in the trade and the 30 crosses fairly frequently, and I just don't want my alerts going off 300 times when I'm not even in a trade. But as soon as I buy, okay, as soon as the 4 hour crosses to the green and I buy, then I add another alert for the 30-minute crossing. Same thing, RSI MFI, crossing on the 30-minute time frame. That way I get alerted when it's time for me to get out. Okay? And then when I finally get out of that trade and I'm done, but I'm not done just because the 30-minute crosses, I just get out because the 30-minute, so I'll leave that alert because the 30-minute could cross back. Right? So I want to be alerted again when it crosses back so I can rebuy as long as the 4 hour is still green. Does that make sense? So today, under this current move, which I did not take, unfortunately, because I was busy. So we're on the 4 hour, right? 4 hours green. 4 hours green. You would have gotten out. See, you don't want to ride this drawdown. So you would have been in the trade because 4 hours green. Let's mark out where the 4 hour, just look at it. 4 hour went green right there, right? Right? Okay. 30-minute went red, so you got out back here and then wrote, so you don't ride this drawdown. Let me mark that. That's where you got in on the 4 hour. But there's no sense in riding this drawdown because when this move is over, this thing's going to stay in the red, right? So you got out right there on the latest little dip. You got out right there. And then it came down and it crossed back into the green. I understand you gave a little back, but you didn't know that. You didn't know that. And it's all about protecting yourself. You did not know that. So you got out right here. And then you got back in right here. I know it seems dumb, But when you got out, look, you had this little drawdown. For all you knew, this was going to continue down. So you get out when the signal fires. When a signal tells you to get out, you get out. You don't know that it's about to flip back up and go up. But when it does that, cool. You flip back, am I still in the green on 4 hour? Yes, I'm still in the green on 4 hour. Okay, I'm good to enter. So then you could have re-entered this morning right there. And had you done that, you're up another 13% right now. That's $13,000 I could have made this morning, but I was busy. This actually happened at the gym. And is what it is. I missed it, but you're not going to catch everyone. That doesn't mean scroll through your Rolodex and find the next coin that's set up like this. Don't do that. If you don't know the coin, stay away from it. Just wait. Just wait. There will be plenty of opportunities. Just wait. So does this make sense? And some of you are like, well, gosh, why couldn't I just ride this little dip down like this and then roll it up? Well, first of all, like I said, you didn't know if you're about to head down. Second of all, a lot of you, especially you less experienced traders, you're going to start to panic when you start giving back your profits. You're going to start to panic and freak out. You already know you are. And you're probably going to close this and be done with it. And then you're not even going to be interested in this because your brain is in panic mode because you just rode that down. Don't do that. Don't do that. Psychology is so important in this. So important. All right, let's go look at the H bar. I have not. I was prepared to look at some others, WorldCoin and all that. Just trust me, WorldCoin's the same. Just trust me, WorldCoin's the same. Let's just look at the current pump here on WorldCoin for those who don't believe me. All right, cool. We're under the 4 hours. See 4 hours in the green, right? 4 hours in the green. We all acknowledge that. Flippy floppy here, and this latest, I'm on the 30-minute now, this latest little pump, boom. You got the cross right there. You got the cross back into the green. Take it, boom. 9% pump you could have just caught here in the last hour because 4 hours still in the green, right? So I know it's flippy floppy. It's a little bit in and out, but that's okay. You protect yourself. You take your profit and protect yourself. As long as that 4 hours still in the green, you can sell and re-enter if it comes back and crosses to the green. You can still re-enter. Let's look at H bar. I have not looked at this today. I have not looked at this. First thing we're going to do. What's the first thing you're going to do? Somebody tell me the first thing we're going to do. Do you not, Hotborn, do you not also spot trade BTC? I don't. I leverage trade Bitcoin and I spot trade alts. I don't know if this strategy works on Bitcoin. I'm sure it does. This is an altcoin strategy for me. Thanos is wrong. Eons is wrong. You are both wrong. The first thing we're going to do, yes, Thanos. First thing we're going to do, the very first thing you do if you don't want to get wrecked is you go check. Let me just show you real quick because some of you are like, what do you mean get wrecked? Let me show you. And then we're going to come look at H bar. Remember our new Sana, 29 million, I think it was, 29 million market cap, right? So it can easily be moved. You throw $10 at this thing, it moves 70%, right? Let's take a look. All right, just look right here at the 30-minute. You can just tell right here on the 30-minute. On the 30-minute, right? You cross into the green, right? Right here, crossing the green. So, boom, we're good to get in. Let me look at the 4 hour. All right, 4 hours in the green, right? 4 hour. Pay attention. 4 hours in the green. I'm on the 4 hour. 4 hours in the green. So you're looking for what? You could enter there, and then you're flippy floppy in and out based upon the 30-minute, right? Well, 30 minutes in the green, and so we would re-enter there, right? We go up, and yeah, you had a big pump. You had a big pump. Yeah, boom. Shoot, man, that's a good pump. That is a 13% pump. That's good. But the exit signal is not until you come back in the red, right? You come back in the red. We've entered right here on the horizontal white line. Well, where do we come back in the red? Come back in the red right there. Okay, a little blip back in the red. Uh-oh. That is a loss. That is a loss. That is almost a 4% loss. Remember, none of the examples, we just looked at a ton of examples on Fetch, which is a $600 million market. None of them were losses with the 30-minute flippy floppy stuff. None of them, all right? Even though it's a lagging indicator, but this coin is such a small market cap that by the time even this little blip catches up to the movement of the market, it's too late. It's too late. And again, it gave you a good pump, but unless you just, how did you know it was going to stop there? How did you know it wasn't going to go like this? And you could make that. How did you know? You didn't, so you would not have probably closed this. Based upon the strategy, you would not have closed this until right here, and you would have taken a loss. That's why you can't do this on, I'm telling you guys, I've done this for 12 years. Anything less than a $500 million market cap, just, there's so many other opportunities. Just don't. Let's go look at H-bar. I have not looked at this today, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to roll over here to CoinMarketCap. H-bar. H-bar's market cap is $4.3 billion. So that is greater than 500 million. So we're good to use the strategy on this coin. This would be a mistake for me to just go to this coin chart and start doing it, though. Okay? It would be a mistake because I don't know this coin. So for me to just go look this up and go look for a signal is a mistake. Okay? So I'm telling you, some of you are going to do it. I already know you are, and that's fine. That's your business. But if it were me, I would want to look at coins that I'm familiar with. This is... Hang on, let me zoom out here. Let me see what I'm working with. Is there another chart that has more H-bar? This goes back to 2020. I guess that's about it. I just don't like how it's so spotty. It was really spotty here on... Look at this. See all these gaps? This is really spotty. I don't understand this on Binance. This is usually for smaller cap coins with not a lot of history. So I'm going to use a different chart just because I don't like this. I'm going to use the Coinbase chart. It's just not spotty. See, there's not spots in there. I don't understand. Unless Binance just has really low volume for this particular coin. I bet that's the case. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's take a look. Was there some sort of news on H-bar today? I can't see any news. So H-bar, you're not under the signal. So this is not, you would have missed this, okay? And that's okay. That's okay. That's why you follow a couple of coins. Because while this one is not there for H-bar, I don't know what's causing this pump. Something is causing this pump. I would not have taken this trade, okay? It worked out for you on Alexander. I would not have taken this trade, though. But that's okay. You could have taken it on Fetch or World because those did have money flow. I don't know why this is fine. Something's caused this pump because it's sure not money flow. But let's go look at the last time we did get the money flow. Let's go look at the last time. Okay. Right here. Let's see if it works out on this coin. You got the cross right there on the 4-hour. That's our go signal. Drop it to the 30. So that's what I mean by just don't go chasing coins, guys. Don't go chasing coins. This looks like a scam wick right here. Look at that. Scam wick faux show. And you got the 30-minute exit signal right there. That is your get out. And if you took that, got a good 3%, so I'd have made $3,000 on that. It hem-hawed around. It came back into the green on the 30-minute here. So what I need to see is it's still in the 4-hour there. So we'll switch back to the 4-hour. Look over that second vertical bar. There it is. And we are still in the green on the 4-hour. So therefore, I would be good to go to enter on that 30-minute re-entry into the green. Good to go. Came down, gave you an exit right here. I know it went up a lot higher, but it is what it is. Still another 2.5%. This thing ran up to 6%. So I mean, you can take profit wherever you want. This just gives you the exit signal, and this is a good example of why you want to take this exit signal here, and not just hope that it continues to go up. Like, whoa, why would I want to exit just in case it goes up? Because it didn't go up; it rolled down, and you would have wound up taking a loss. So, yeah, you're not going to catch the tops, but you're going to catch profits, and profits add up. Profits add up. See, a lot of you are going to think, well, gosh, I didn't have to get out. I could have just rode this whole thing. Maybe. But what if you got one like this that it didn't keep going, it rolled over, and you wound up taking the loss instead? So I'm just telling you, get out when I you do you. But I'm getting out when that 30-minute crosses back to the red. And if it crosses back to the green and the 4-hour still in the green, then I will re-enter. Otherwise, how do you know when to get out? Just because you feel like you've made enough? Because it feels like it? Let me tell you what feeling like gives you. I'll show you what feeling like gives you. I will show you because I did it. And I showed you guys in Discord when I did it. I will show you what feeling like gets you and how stupid you're going to feel. This is what feeling like it's time to get out gets you. You buy right there. Don't be a dummy like me. You buy right there. You tell the whole Discord how you bought right there, and everything's so great. And it runs up about 10, 11, 12%, somewhere in there. And you say, all right, guys, I made like $5,000. I'm selling right there because it feels like it should roll over. And instead, it pumps up another 73% because I did this, and it's documented in Discord. So that's when we get out on our parameters, our criteria, our signals. We don't get out on our emotions. Okay? We don't stay in based upon our emotions either. Can it work out for you? Sure, your emotions can work out sometimes. But you can also get wrecked. Or, in this case, I didn't get wrecked. I made $5 or $6,000. I don't remember what it was. I showed you guys when I bought and sold. I don't remember. It was something like that, about $5,000. But I missed out on making about 50,000 more. And that's no lie. It's right here and it's documented in Discord. Because I felt like it pumped up and I was good, and I was looking at that Bitcoin fractal down here, and y'all remember Bitcoin was tracking that fractal perfectly, and I was like, okay, we should be headed down now. I'm going to get out of this fetch trade before it's too late. 73% later to the upside. Stick to your parameters. Never mind your emotions. I don't care about your emotions. I mean, I love you guys. If you're having a hard time at home and you want to talk to me about your emotions, I'm down. But I don't want to hear about your emotions in trading. There should be no emotions in trading. Trading is literally like mathematical probability. Literally. Like a machine. You buy or you sell when XYZ happens. Literally. Emotions get you wrecked. Anyway, that's the signal, guys. Let's look at one more coin. Who said what about something else? We looked at Fetch, we looked at Nasana, we looked at HBAR, we looked at WorldCoin. Zcash is going to be a terrible example because it's just been in the green the whole time. We'll look, but I bet it's just been in the green the whole time. Nah, maybe not. Let's take a look at it. 4-hour time frame. Just go back here to the last little. Let's mark this out. Last little curve up into the green here. We'll take a look. Got the green right there on the 4-hour. Right, there's our candle. Boom. That's a go. That's a buy. And again, a lot of you, I'm telling you, a lot of you are just going to stay in this the whole time, which is great. But I'm getting out on the 30-minute and I'm re-entering. I don't care if on this move up right here, I had to get in and out 5 times on the 30-minute. I don't care. I don't care because I'm telling you, there's going to come a time, I'm telling you, where this little bit right here, you probably had a 30-minute cross right there to the red. I'm going to tell you, you see this, and it's really easy to play armchair analyst, right? Really easy to look at this and say, oh, gosh, this little pullback was nothing. Look at this pump. I could have just stayed in. It's really easy to say that. But in real time, when you can't see this portion of it, it's not that easy. And there are going to come times where this little pullback is going to keep pulling back, right? Like this one. And if this were real time, you might have said, oh, look at this, up and down, up and down. Just a little pullback. We're going to go up now. And it didn't. It's still pulling back, okay? This is why it's important to stick to the rules and not what you feel. Stick to the rules. I don't care if you have to enter the trade 5 times to get there. If that's what it takes to keep your account protected, then that's what it takes. Okay, but let's look at this. So we got in here. I'm going to leave the circle there because we're going to look at the 30-minute, see if we got the cross. So we got in there on the 4-hour green, money flow cross. All right, and you came up into the red, and look, the teeniest, tiniest little cross into the red right there. Boom. I don't know that I would have even got out on that because by the time that this is a rare example that I probably would not have gotten out on because do you see how this hops from green and then there's a red, but it's immediately green? Like there's not like 2 bars, that's 1 bar. And we go by confirmations, not firing of signals. Confirmation means when that candle closes. So by the time this candle, so this would be one 30-minute candle would have ticked a red. I would have waited for this to confirm because there could have been a lot of these that ticked red by the time the candle closed, right? So what happens is within that candle, price starts ticking down within that 30-minute candle. Price is coming down and down. So this could cross red, but within that same 30-minute candle, price could come back up, and this could toggle back green, and it's like it never happened. Just like the Fetch 10-day red dot we were looking at the other day. It's like it never happened. So you wait on confirmation. So I don't think I would have exited here because as soon as this thing confirmed red, the very next candle was green. So about the time I was clicking the close button, it would have said green, and I said, oh, okay, let's hold on, right? So in this particular case, I would not have gotten out on this pullback. And in this case, I would not have gotten out until right here, right there. So you would have caught this move with this strategy to the tune of 78%. 78%. And then a few bars later, let's look, a few bars later, you went back green on the 30 minutes. Right there. Went back green on the 30-minute. Let's look at the 4-hour, though. Let's see if the 4-hour is still green at that time. That'll be our last vertical line. 4-hour is still green. See, 4-hour still green, so we would have been good to re-enter. Now, let's just see what happens. This is the first time I've looked at Zcash. Let's just see what happened. Go back to the 30-minute. All right, so we re-entered there. Right there. Rode it up for another 13% move to the upside. 13%. And if you waited until the red cross back into the red, which is right there, that's your exit signal. Maybe a green. That's your exit signal. Then you would have had, of that 13, you got about half, about 6%. Still, it works. 6%, 6%. You can't exit up here. None of you exited here. After a 80% run up, all of you were thinking, oh, we're going another 80%. So nobody exited here, but just told you to get out. And it was a good time to get out because, look, extended wave down. You would have wound up taking a loss on this, right? That's why you have to get out when it flashes red. You have to get out. I don't give a shit if it flips back green 2 candles later, then re-enter. But get out when it flashes red. Don't just wait. Oh, let's give it 2 or 3 more candles to see. Oh, shit. Next thing you know, you're still coming down. And how big of a drop down is this from the signal? How big of a drop down? I understand it went back up later, but later's later. You could re-enter. I mean, that's a 20% drop down. So you get out when you get out. Stick to the rules. Never change the rules. If you find a winning strategy, never change them. Unless you're very experienced, and you have tried and true methods and you have found ways to tweak things to make them better that is completely back testable and not just happen once or twice here or there, never change the rules. Why? What is that old saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And this ain't broke. Would this apply to ETH? I really haven't looked at ETH in years, probably. I've never looked at this strategy on ETH. I never got on the ETH bandwagon. I don't know, like never. What is this crap? What's this? Something's going on with the Binance chart. This is Binance again, all dotty and splotchy. Something's going on with Binance chart right now. Because I know ETH ain't like that. Well, let's look at ETH real quick before we call it a day. I know some of you like ETH. Let's come back and find one here. I don't guess it really matters. Just look at this one. It doesn't really matter. They're all the same. All right, so we're going to get in here, get the confirmed cross, right? I know it actually ticked 1 bar before. Pay attention, guys. I didn't put it right on this one because we want the confirmed, and it didn't confirm until there. Does that make sense? Confirmed. That's why I'm not putting it right on that one. I want it confirmed. You guys want to front run it? Be my guest. All right, so we enter there. Let's look at ETH. And generally on things like ETH or Solana or whatever, you're going to get smaller pumps because their market caps are freaking huge. I mean, sometimes you get giant pumps, but their market caps are huge, so it takes a lot more money to move it. That's why I know Solana can easily pump 70%, but it can dump 70% too. So these coins like ETH, you may not get as big a gains. Like this one here from entry to top was 14%. And on fetch, that may have been 30%. But your drawdowns are going to be muted as well. So they're like Bitcoin. Bitcoin drops 10%, your altcoin probably drops 25, 30. ETH is kind of like that. But hey, steady gains. All right, so we enter there. All right, 4-hour cross. Let's drop to the 30. Let's go find our mark. All right, mark is back here. And our exit is same thing here, guys, that we just looked at. I'm going to zoom in on this, that we just looked at on Zcash. I'm probably not going to exit on this, right? Because I'm waiting for the confirmation. It turned red right here. When I go over one period, which is 1 30-minute candle, that is your confirmation. You confirmed in the red, but this next red candle immediately ticked green, which made me pause. So if this would have flipped red at any point in time, then I'm out. But it didn't. It confirmed green. Okay? Okay? Same thing here with the next red period. You click over one more, and as soon as it confirmed, it had actually flipped green. So I probably would not have got out to the confirmed. Oh, gosh. Where was I just at? Oh, here we go. Confirmed was right there. Oops. You see what I'm saying? That's where you confirmed in it. Your next period, your opening of your next candle did not toggle back green. It was red. So that confirmed to me we're in the red and we're staying in the red. Either way, they're pretty similar. So that would have been your exit signal. And hey, but again, by all means, if you guys want to front run things on signals firing, so be it. I don't want to hear it when you get wrecked. Oh, well, it flipped green. I entered. Did it confirm green? No, it flipped back red before the candle closed. Well, then you front ran. You didn't wait on confirmation. That's your fault. That is your fault. I don't want anybody to get wrecked. That's why I'm telling you. All right, so if you took this, boom, perfect. Entry, exit, 11%. And here you never got the flip back to green. You didn't get a flip back to green till here. And we would flip to 4-hour. And 4 hours in the green, so you technically could have entered there. No, you wouldn't have. You wouldn't enter there. Because remember, you didn't get a confirmed green here. It's not a confirmed green. As soon as that candle would have clicked to confirm, it immediately ticked red. You didn't get a confirmed green until here. Right there. So but we may not have been a 4-hour green by that point. Yeah, we were. Not a great entry, but this is just ETH. ETH is not going to move very much. Like this is 11, 12, 13% pump here is massive for ETH. It's freaking huge. Like here, you only got a 1% move. This would have been a failure right here. I personally wouldn't trade ETH, though. The reason why this strategy doesn't work as well on ETH is the same reason it doesn't work as well on Asana. It takes so much to push that indicator down or up. It takes so much volume. By the time you get that much volume, price is already gone for the most part. And on the flip side, the other side of the extreme, like Asana, it takes so little that by the time you get the lagging signal, price is gone. You want that happy medium, somewhere in between, in my opinion. Yeah, rules are good. Hey, Wendy. What's up, Wendy? Glad you're here. So that's what I got for you guys. If you want me to look at one more altcoin, anybody drop an alt in chat, I'll take a look at it. Anybody, one more altcoin we'll take a look at if you want. So to recap, you know the rules. I would not use this on any huge market cap coin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, probably Solana, Any of those, I would not use it on. Anything small, less than $500 million, I would not use it on. Just because the indicators are lagging. This worked, guys. I've shown you P&Ls. This is what I do. See if we got anything right now. Gosh, fetches up 15%. I missed this too. I was at the gym. In the green, 4 hour, 30-minute. It's kind of flippy floppy through all this. Then it ticked back this morning in the green right there. While 4 hour is still in the green. This is just easy, guys. This is just easy. Let's take a look. Let's just drop. Oops, 4 hour. 4 hour in the green right there. 30-minute got you out back here. $30-minute gets you out back here. Kind of flippy floppy through some of this. And the latest, while 4 hours still in the green, got you back in here. For this pump of, could have caught, with the 30-minute signal, you could have caught 11% of this pump. We did not check XLM. One thing I'm going to tell you about XLM right now, this is good that you brought this up. I'm so hesitant to go through XLM, and I'll tell you why. First of all, let's do our due diligence. XLM, $8.4 billion market cap, so it's cool, it's good, right? It's tradable for this signal. This doesn't count, guys. This doesn't count. I don't care if the signals were there or weren't there. This does not count. This is not applicable. This is not what the signal's about. This is a news-driven pump. That is not what a signal's about, okay? I'm sure the signal fired off, but this is news-driven. XLM had that big news thing yesterday or the day before. Well, they're considering it, adding it to whatever open stock market trading, whatever, New York Stock Exchange, whatever. News driven. So I will look at this, but I'm going to completely ignore this. You do have the 4 hour cross, boom. So technically that's an entry, right? That's an entry, 4 hour cross. It has pumped. You got the news release here. It has pumped 102% since the 4 hour cross, which if you were to take it would have been here, but I would not have touched this at all because news driven pumps, while this did continue, a news driven pump is very likely. You've all seen the pump and dumps to go and give it all back. So I would not have touched this no matter what this said. I would not have touched this. And you wouldn't know that if you just looked at this chart. That's why I tell you, you have to be intimately familiar, because anybody intimately familiar with this coin would have known that there was a news release. And either you're in it or you just get out of the way. If you're not already in it, you get out of the way, because at some point, I'm telling you, probably next week, this coin is going to fully retrace to right where it started at some point. And you just don't know if it's going to be from here or from here or from here or from here. You just don't know. But if this coin wasn't up there through normal price action, which clearly it wasn't, and something pushes it up there, the market is not going to rise to meet Stellar Lumen. Stellar Lumen is going to come back to the market. So anyway, we'll look at this, but this is not applicable. I would not have touched this. I just don't do pump and dumps. I know you can make a lot of money. I know. Stellar has been very boring. Look at this. So let's look at the last time, or one of the last times. Let's just look at this right here on the 4-hour. So it met our coin market cap parameter. I'm on the 4-hour. We get confirmation there. So we're going to enter. You did pull back a little bit here. Another thing that I really like for this added confluence here is if you get a green dot to go with it. And here you did not get a green dot. I either want a green dot the 4-hour before that 4-hour or the next 4-hour. Here it was some time, so this is kind of an uglier one, but it worked out. It's just a little uglier. And let's go to the 30 minutes. So let's mark out our enter. Go to 30. Gosh, I just don't like this coin. Kind of toggle back and forth here. Again, you can't really go on like these because as soon as you confirm, this is not a go signal. So this is your first go signal on the 30-minute, even though we're already in on the 4-hour. It's your first go signal. So your first exit signal will be right here. And again, you have to go on confirmations. So if you get these little ones here that kind of tick in the green, but on the very next candle, it's in the red, you can't go with that because it never confirmed. So there's your entry. There's your exit. Right there. This pump was 9.5%, and then your exit signal, you got 6%. So 6% on that one. Not too bad. I'm not a fan of Stellar. I would stay away from Stellar. I mean, look, while everything else has been pumping like crazy. I mean, just look at this coin. This is the coin. You came into this range. God, this is a terrible coin, guys. This pump is nothing. It's coming back. When you came to this range in February, when Bitcoin dumped to 6K, you haven't left it. You're just there. Compared to a coin like Fetch, look at the difference. You came into this range in February, and you've pumped massively out of it. It's a strong coin. XLM, you got a lucky freaking news pump here that's coming back, but you can't even push out of your bottom range. And I'm telling you, if Bitcoin goes sub 60K, this sucker right here is going to go vroom, just like that. If you're not even strong enough to leave your range, not even for a half a second, while all these other alts are up 80, 90, 100%, and the only way you can leave the range is you get a news report, you're going down. This is an ugly coin. I would delete this from the watch list if anybody's watching this coin. Any other coin anybody want to look at before we go? I know we've been on here a while. I feel like XLM was a bad example. If not for the news event, XLM is still in this range that it's been in for 4 months. I will look at another coin if you want. One more coin. Somebody throw me a coin. Wendy, you got to have a coin. What are you interested in, Wendy? I don't think you've ever said what coins you're interested in. I mean, this is the history of XLM. You can't count all this back here where it was sub 1 penny, but just lower highs, just underperformance. Just not a good coin. I mean, it's pretty solid. You're not really dumping too much, but you're not pumping too much. It's just kind of like a solid underperforming. You're not going to make much, but you're probably not going to lose much coin. And what it did the last couple of days with this pump, I'm on the weekly. This just seems to be the MO for this coin. You do nothing for a very, very freaking long time. This is 2.5 years of doing nothing. And then out of freaking nowhere, you pump 600%. Like out of nowhere. You did nothing for 2.5 years, and this is 2 weeks. This is 2 freaking candles right here, guys. 2 candles. Look at this. This is insane. From May of 2022 to November of 24, 2.5 years, you did nothing. And then in a 2-week period, you pumped 600%. That's crazy. Look at it back here, guys. You did nothing this entire time here. You did less than nothing. What is this? Right there. November of 18, November, 2 years, you did nothing. And then in about 2 months, about 2 to 3 months, you pumped 900%. For 2 years, you did nothing. And in 2 months, you pumped 900%. For 2.5 years, you did nothing. In 2 weeks, you pumped 600%. That's crazy. This is not a coin I want to be a part of. There's likely going to come a day where you just do nothing, wait on your 900% pump, and you just do nothing. I would death by boredom right here. Solana's kind of the same deal as ETH. It's just not a coin that I would try this strategy on. Let's look at the market cap. I mean, 47 billion. That's not exactly the same. Let's look at Solana. Last coin. Look at Solana. Wendy must be gone. Look at Solana. Clear this off. It's only $48 billion market cap, which is huge, but it's about 1/5 of what ETH is. So let's just see how well this works on this. I've not actually looked at this on Solana. Again, I just keep my 2 little coins. All right, so the last 4 hour, we got right there. I'm going to have to switch. Look how spotty this thing is. I don't understand what's up with Binance right now. Are y'all Binance chart look like that? Speaking of Binance, let's look at our poll. We got to switch one of these to Kraken. It said max. So most of you use KCEX, MEXC, Bybit, or other. Interesting. I'm going to have to switch charts. Does y'all's Binance look like this right now? All right, let's look at Solana. Let's go to the last little 4 hour green cross here. All right, get a confirm green there. This probably works well on Solana. It's huge, but it's not like Bitcoin and Ethereum huge, but it's big. I would prefer smaller, but it probably works on this too. All right. So Solana, you get your confirmed in the green on the 30-minute here, and then you get your. That's not a good one on Solana. Solana's a little big. I mean, it works. It's just a lot of flippy floppy in here. I mean, so technically on this first entry in the 4 hour, you would have entered, and then you're crossing the green, then you get out. So you'd have got out right here. So actually, you would have got a better entry. So that would have been your get out. So you made a baby little 0.5%, which isn't great, but it is what it is. And you come back, you're flippy floppy in it here, and then you get back in here. Flippy floppy. You're back in there on the confirmed re-entry. So about where you started. And then your exit is This isn't a good one. It's too big. You take a loss on this one. It's too big. I'm telling you guys, $500 million to about 10 billion is ideal. $500 million to 10 billion. It's just when these market caps are so big, the problem is, guys, when they're so small or so big, I hate to be repetitive, but these are lagging indicators. And it just takes so much or so little on the small ones that by the time the price, so much has come in, volume has come in here to get you down here. It's so laggy. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So, like I said at the beginning, the general rule of thumb is $500 million to 10 billion. I have found to be kind of the sweet spot for this, which is most altcoins. And you can go cryptocurrency rankings, and it'll list your top altcoins, and you can kind of look. So you're going to have to get down to nothing in the top 10. Everything in the top 10 is too big. Everything in the top 10. Doge is number 10 at 17 billion. Anything below that, as of now, as we get into the bull run and money starts coming in, these will go up. But as of now, you want to be out of the top 10. Look, we looked at these. They work beautifully on Zcash. We looked at Stellar. It worked on Stellar, but Stellar's garbage. HBAR at number 23 worked beautifully on. Can't remember what else we looked at. Yeah, anything outside of the top 10, basically, is going to be really well. Should work really well on. All right. Questions, guys? Questions, coins. So anything out of the top 10, be sure you check your market cap before you get started. $500 million to 10 billion. Anywhere in there, you should be good to go. 4-hour money flow entry, 30-minute money flow exit, and re-enter if 4-hour is still green. It works great. It works great. Sometimes you get these big pumps, 20, 30, 40%. Sometimes it'll be 3, 4, 5%. You take them all. The 3, 4, 5s add up. You get yourself 5%ers, you've made it 25%. If you got a $100,000 account, that's 25 grand. You got a $10,000 account, that's 2,500. All right, guys, what I'm going to roll out, you are welcome, Thanos. I hope you guys got something out of this. Salt Chain, you're welcome. All right, guys, the Lord loves you. I love you guys. I'm gone. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see you next time.